For the last 3 years, rent across America did the unthinkable, climbed higher and faster. And landlords are panicking in 2025. Hit subscribe right now for more deep dives into America's hit Vegas hard and fast. Population growth surged 18%. Families seeking space, businesses avoiding taxes, retirees chasing sunshine, new suburbs sprawled across desert, family entertainment, beyond gambling. Raiders Stadium, NHL Golden Knights creating legitimate sports culture. But 2025 brought reality check. Tourism never fully recovered, construction costs soared, entertainment industry struggling. Post-pandemic tourism patterns shifted permanently. Tourism down 22%, convention cancellations mounting. Business conventions moved virtual, entertainment spending dropped. Service industry jobs, Vegas's lifeblood, couldn't support rent increases. Water restrictions, threatening desert expansion. Lake Mead levels critical. Casinos offering rental discounts. Show tickets, dining credits, anything to fill units near Strip. But water crisis creating existential questions about desert city sustainability. Vegas learned hardest lesson, economic transformations. And let's dive in. Number 10. Austin, Texas. You can't build permanent city on temporary entertainment. Number 4. Portland, Oregon. Portland's quirk was its currency. Keep Portland weird drove rent sky high until weird got too expensive. Hipster paradise to economic exodus. 12% rent reality check as creativity can't pay bills. Between 2018 and 2023, Portland attracted creative class and tech overflow from Seattle. Nike expansion, Intel growth, startup culture. Tech job growth surged 31%. Food truck culture went global. Craft brewing capital, art scene rival to Brooklyn. Keep Portland Weird became international brand. Remote workers chose character over convenience. But 2025 weird turned expensive. Expensive turned dangerous. Dangerous turned exodus. Public safety concerns crushing cultural appeal. Downtown businesses boarding up. Tech workers relocating. Creative economy couldn't survive. Austin's rise was legendary. And so is its fall. Silicon Hills to Ghost Hills. When customers afraid to visit. Talent pipeline drying up as families choose suburbs. Landlords offering free parking, pet amenities, partnerships with local breweries and art studios. But tech companies demanding return to office, breaking remote work advantage. Portland learned, culture alone doesn't pay rent when safety disappears. Even weird needs foundation of security. Pacific Northwest mystery deepening, but East Coast tells bigger story. Number 3. Seattle, Washington. Seattle's tech empire was supposed to be bulletproof. Amazon, Microsoft, Boeing creating untouchable demand. Emerald City to ghost towers. 16% rent crash as even tech titans show cracks. Between 2015 and 2022, Seattle became global tech capital outside Silicon Valley. Amazon's explosive growth, Microsoft's cloud dominance, startup ecosystem thriving, tech job growth surged 45%. South Lake Union transformed from 14% rent collapse year over year, T's steepest decline in the entire Sunbelt. Industrial wasteland to gleaming tech corridor. Glass towers rose like digital cathedrals. $180K. Average tech salaries made $3,000, rent look reasonable, bidding wars normal, Amazon effect rippled through everything. Boeing Aerospace, Starbucks global headquarters, startup unicorns. Seattle felt unstoppable. But 2025 brought humbling reality check. Tech layoffs, remote work, permanent, city appeal fading. Tech bubble burst hit Seattle hardest. Amazon slashed 18,000 jobs. Microsoft cut 10,000. Remote work killed downtown energy. Commute times improved because nobody commuting. Restaurants, shops, services collapsed. Psychological shift devastating. Pandemic changed how people live and work. Seattle prestige lost appeal to smaller, balanced cities. Migration out isn't massive, but relentless. Every family leaving takes stability. Downtown vacancy hit 31%, highest ever recorded. Gleaming towers, once testaments to innovation, now stand half-empty. Between 2020 and 2023, Austin became America's tech mecca. Remote workers fleeing California, reflecting clouds over uncertain future. Tenants negotiating flexible leases, lower prices. Power dynamic completely flipped. Seattle skyline still gleams in mist, but beneath lies fragility. Cracks not from earthquakes, from economy learning, even tech dreams have limits. Pacific Northwest falling, but nothing compares to California's collapse. Number 2. San Francisco, California. If any city defines the word collapse, it's San Francisco. Crown jewel of innovation to unrecognizable wasteland. 15% rent crash. Vacancy rates shattering every record. Once untouchable towers now begging for $3,000 with incentives. For decades, San Francisco was America's innovation heartbeat. Google, Facebook, Twitter. Every world-changing startup began here. Between 2010 and 2022, venture capital flooded Silicon Valley. Tech market cap reached $2.3 trillion. IPO celebrations weekly. $200K, starting salaries normal. Venture capital pouring in. Billion-dollar startups sprouting like wildflowers. The city branded. Housing became investment vehicle. $4,000. Studios with 12-month wait lists. Foreign billionaires buying towers sight unseen. Tech worker demand made any price seem reasonable. City that set housing floor for entire nation, but 2025 brought total unraveling. Tech exodus never reversed. Remote work hardened into permanence. Tech exodus reached 87,000 workers. Downtown 40% empty. Perfect storm of dysfunction. Tech layoffs, crime surge, quality of life collapse, regulatory nightmare. Downtown became canyon of quiet glass. City blocks turned ghost corridors. For lease signs, part of scenery. Property taxes, maintenance, insurance doubled, wiping out profits. Investors, trapped, unable to refinance without losing millions. Beyond economics lies perception. Crime, homelessness, dysfunction turned away renters in droves. Restaurants, boutiques, galleries. That defined city's charm closing. Cultural vacuum where irreplaceable character once lived. Itself as the new Silicon Valley, and for a while, it lived up to the name. Downtown cranes filled the even vaunted tech identity fading as companies abandoned headquarters for cheaper hubs. Landlords, who flaunted passive income, now begging for tenants. Haunting irony. City that set housing. Price floor, showing how far market can fall. San Francisco's decline isn't temporary. It's transformational. But even this pales to our number 1. Number 1. New York City. And at number 1, the empire finally showing its cracks. The untouchable falls. 12% Manhattan crash, 15% Brooklyn and Queens collapse. For generations, New York's rental market was bulletproof. No matter the economy, no matter the crisis, demand always returned. Empire of rent meeting its ceiling. For 150 years, New York meant opportunity. Ellis Island to Silicon Alley, every generation came seeking their American dream. Between 2010 and 2023, global capital flooded Manhattan. Global capital inflows reached $47 billion annually. Skyline, 24/7. Luxury towers sprouted overnight. The Independent, 70 rainy. Landlords couldn't. Billionaires Row rose above Central Park. $100 million penthouses sold before construction finished. Finance ruled the world. Media shaped culture. Fashion set trends. Young professionals paid any price for Manhattan studio. because proximity meant everything. International buyers, once secret, engine of real estate machine, treated Manhattan like global safe deposit box. International buyers represented 23% of luxury purchases, but 2025 brought the unthinkable. Even New York has limits. Perfect storm destroying demand foundation. Corporate layoffs in finance, media, tech eroding. Renter base that fueled resilience. Wall Street shedding jobs, media industry contracting, startup funding dried up, high-paying professional class vanishing, Goldman Sachs massive cuts, media company closures, tech startup failures. International buyers pulled back amid global instability and tax hikes. Ultra-wealthy cutting back for first time in memory. Luxury rentals raise rents fast enough. 12-month waitlists for apartments became normal. On Billionaires Row, repriced down hundreds of thousands. Mid-market building owners facing brutal refinancing destroying cash flow. Younger professionals, once eager to pay any price, fleeing for Charlotte, Nashville, Philadelphia. Culture still here, but fewer can afford admission. For first time in decades, renters have upper hand, landlords scrambling with incentives back. Everywhere. Free rent, waived deposits, luxury upgrades just to lure tenants. Developers who bet on endless wealth watching towers overlook half-empty streets. For smaller landlords, foreclosure whispers begun. The math simply doesn't work anymore. Energy that defined New York, for centuries slowly dispersing to hungrier, cheaper cities. New York's decline isn't dramatic. It's deliberate. Slow contraction of city learning its limits. For first time in living memory, even New Yorkers admitting unthinkable, empire of rent reached its ceiling. When New York struggles, but in 2025, that fever has broken. Hard. Average rent is down 14% year over year. America feels it. Financial capital, cultural heartbeat, global gateway, all showing cracks. Skyline still shines, but beneath lies new reality. Ambition finally meets exhaustion. City that never sleeps, pausing, if only for a moment, to catch its breath. Across the United States, quiet revolution unfolding. For first time in over a decade, tenants back in control. Era of bidding wars, blind applications, ruthless rent hikes ending. Replaced by empty units, falling prices, desperate landlords. From Austin's tech exodus to New York's empire cracking, pattern emerges. This isn't just price correction, it's cultural shift. Millions questioning whether renting or owning makes sense when costs rise faster than wages. Developers built luxury, renters wanted livable, investors chased returns, families needed stability. Now reckoning arrived. Housing markets don't defy gravity forever. Than any time in modern history. 60% increases. Overnight bidding wars. Families destroyed. Thousands of glossy new apartments built during the boom now sit half-empty. Some cities will recover, others will shrink. Everywhere lessons same. Even real estate empires have limits. What happens next reshapes American geography. Power flowing from coasts to centers, luxury to livability, speculation to sustainability. The rental revolution is just beginning. You've been watching Discover the Nation, your home for cinematic deep dives into America's biggest transformations. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video. Because what's happening today in the rental market is just the beginning of a massive economic reshaping. The numbers tell the story, and the story is far from over. For first time in generation, the American dream of affordable housing might actually be within reach again. But only if we learn. From the collapse happening right now, the cities that adapt will thrive, their rooftop pools echoing with silence. The reason? The tech bubble burst with nuclear force. The ones that don't will become cautionary tales. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next deep dive into the forces reshaping America. Until then, keep discovering the nation, one story at a time. the rental wars, are changing everything, and you've witnessed the front lines of economic history in the making. The empire of rent is falling, and from its ashes, a new American housing landscape is rising. One where tenants finally have power, where landlords must compete fairly, and where the dream of affordable housing becomes reality once again. This is the moment generations of renters have waited for. The balance of power is shifting, and the future of American housing starts now. Remember to hit that. Giants like Meta, Oracle, and Tesla gutted Austin's high-income renter base. Subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because the economic transformation we're witnessing is only the beginning. More cities will fall, new patterns will emerge, and we'll be here to document every twist and turn in America's greatest economic story. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the collapse of America's rental empire. Keep watching, keep learning, and most importantly, keep discovering the nation that's changing before our very eyes. From coast to coast, the signs are everywhere. Empty luxury towers, desperate landlord incentives, families finally finding affordable homes. This is more than market correction. It's societal transformation. 67,000 tech jobs vanished. Developers who once bragged about 12-month wait lists, the generation that couldn't afford housing is finally getting their chance. Cities that priced out teachers, nurses, firefighters might welcome them home. The American dream, battered by decades of speculation, shows signs of life. But revolutions are messy, and this housing revolution is no exception. Fortunes built on ever-rising rents are crumbling. Investment strategies worth billions are failing. The old rules no longer apply. In their place, new realities emerge. Tenants with leverage, landlords forced to compete on value, markets returning to fundamentals instead of speculation. This is what housing market democracy looks like. The question isn't whether change will continue. The question is, are now offering desperate deals, free rent for 3 months, waived deposits, which cities will adapt and which will resist until the very end. History is being written in empty apartments and falling rents. The rental empire is falling, and its collapse echoes from Miami penthouses to Manhattan studios. The revolution has begun. The only question left is, which side of history will you be on when the dust finally settles? Thanks for watching Discover the Nation. Until next time, keep your eyes on the changing American landscape. The story of our cities is the story of our nation, and that story is being rewritten as we speak. Even concert tickets to sweeten the deal. Once called Silicon Hills, the nickname now feels like a cruel joke. In downtown towers like the Independent and 70 Rainey, vacancy rates have hit 10-year highs at 23%. In East Austin, once the heart of the city's creative rebirth, landlords are slashing rents just to compete. For those who overleveraged, landlords who bought luxury condos at record prices, expecting endless growth. But in 2025, the empire is crashing, and the numbers will shock you. The profits are gone. Their returns have evaporated under the weight of high-interest loans and vanishing tenants. For renters, however, it's a long-awaited reversal. The city that became unaffordable overnight is finally cracking. Austin's lesson. The city that rose fastest is falling just as hard, and the echo of that fall is shaking the entire Sunbelt. But wait until you see what happened in Miami. Number 9. Miami, Florida. Miami's rental boom wasn't just big, it was blinding. Crypto paradise to financial nightmare. 11% rent drop with vacancies surging across Brickell. Fueled by the pandemic exodus, crypto wealth, and global investors chasing sunshine and status, the city became a playground for billionaires and remote workers. Between 2020 and 2022, rents exploded by over 60%, pushing locals out and turning every downtown high-rise into a symbol of excess. Median rent jumped from $2,100 to $3,360 in just 2 years. From Miami's billionaire playgrounds to New York's untouchable towers, landlords are panicking. But in 2025, the glitter has faded, and the crash is unmistakable. Average rents have fallen 11% since last year, with vacancies surging across Brickell, downtown, and Miami Beach. The once hyped luxury towers that boasted ocean views and infinity pools are now advertising free parking, zero deposits, and even $2,000 gift cards just to fill units. And it's not just lower demand, it's rising costs, crushing profits. Insurance premiums have tripled after hurricane damage, leaving many landlords underwater. HOA fees have skyrocketed as buildings scramble to meet Florida's new post-collapse safety laws. $50,000 special assessments are destroying owners. The result? Thousands of investors are hemorrhaging cash every month. For some, it's already over. Condos once worth $900,000 are selling for $700,000 or sitting unsold entirely. Airbnb owners who thrived on vacation demand are abandoning the rents down 15%. Vacancies exploding. Desperate deals everywhere. 3 months free rent becoming normal. Market as tourism softens and maintenance costs crush profits. Even foreign investors, long Miami's financial lifeline, are backing out, scared by the city's escalating storm risks and endless special assessments. The view from above still looks dazzling, turquoise water, skyline glittering in the sun. But behind the glamour, the financial math is breaking. Miami's cautionary tale. When luxury outgrows logic, even paradise can collapse. Number 8. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta was supposed to be different, the safe bet of the South. A booming job market, affordable housing, and a wave of migration from both coasts made it the darling of developers. They rushed in, pouring billions into new apartment complexes from Midtown to Sandy Springs. Between 2021 and 2024, more than 50,000 new units hit the market, a number the city simply couldn't absorb. The build it and they will come. Today we count down the top 10 cities where the rental bubble is bursting hardest. Mentality created a feeding frenzy, and now in 2025, the boom has turned into a bust. Rents are down 9% year over year, vacancies are climbing, and developers are panicking. High-rises that once filled overnight now sit half-empty. But the problem goes deeper than oversupply. Wage growth has flatlined, while inflation has eaten into household budgets. Corporate belt-tightening is hitting the job market hard. Landlords are offering 3 months of free rent, free parking, and zero security deposits. Anything to lure tenants back. Traffic jams still clog the highways, but wallets can't keep up with the costs. Atlanta learned a harsh truth. Even safe bets can oversupply. Build everything. Doesn't mean rent everything, but nothing compared to what's happening in Phoenix. Number 7. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix's expansion was relentless, sprawling across. Stay until number 1, because what's happening there will change everything you think. Endless desert like economic wildfire. Sunbelt king to climate cautionary tale. 8% rent collapse as reality hits the desert. Between 2020 and 2023, Phoenix captured the American dream. Affordable homes, no state income tax, endless sunshine, California refugees flooded in seeking space and savings. Master-planned communities sprouted hourly. Luxury amenities, resort-style living at a fraction of coastal prices. Population boomed 15%. But 2025 brought harsh reality check. Record heat waves, water restrictions, infrastructure strain, 129-degree heat records. AC bills averaging $400 monthly. The reason? Climate change. Making desert living unsustainable. 115-degree days lasting weeks. Swimming pools banned from refilling. Golf courses turning brown. Infrastructure failing under climate pressure. Rolling blackouts. Becoming routine. Landlords can't compete with utility costs. Renters fleeing back to temperate climates. About American housing. This is economic warfare, and for the first time in a decade, tenants are winning. Phoenix learned what indigenous people always knew. Desert has limits. Cheap rent means nothing when climate fights back. But Denver's mountain high fall shocks everyone. Number 6. Denver, Colorado. Denver's rise was Colorado Gold Rush 2. Legal cannabis, outdoor paradise, tech invasion, mile-high dreams, meeting mile-high costs. 10% rental reality check in America's playground. Between 2019 and 2024, Denver became millennial mecca. Legal weed, world-class skiing, remote work flexibility, cannabis industry. Exploded to $2.2 billion. Tech companies relocated for talent retention. Craft brewery capital, outdoor gear paradise. Progressive politics. Perfect storm for young professional migration. But 2025 reality hits hard. Cannabis market saturated, tech layoffs mounting, cost of living, crushing dreams. Cannabis gold rush became oversupply nightmare. Prices crashed 60%. This is Discover the Nation, and today we're exposing the cities where rent is collapsing. Dispensaries closing weekly. Tech layoffs rippling through ecosystem. Remote work advantage disappeared when everyone went remote. Landlords offering ski lift tickets, brewery credits, hiking gear discounts, anything, mountain lifestyle adjacent. But young professionals choosing cheaper mountain towns or leaving Colorado entirely. Average rent dropped from $1,800 to $1,620. Denver discovered lifestyle alone doesn't pay rent. Even paradise needs sustainable economics. But nothing compared to what happened in Las Vegas. Number 5. Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas bet everything on endless growth, and, for once, the house lost. Sin City to economic purgatory, 13% rent drop, as the ultimate gamble fails. Between 2020 and 2024, Vegas became more than entertainment. It became home, no state taxes, relatively affordable, 24/7 energy, California exodus.